this is a really hard truth, but please stop kissing random men, okay? As someone who used to just, men are dirty, especially after I was this close from getting herpes from a man that I actually really liked at the time. Our first date, you know how like after you meet someone, you're just like, yeah. And even he was like, yeah. Like it was at this point of his life where like he was done fucking around and was ready to settle down. I was going to be his settle down girl. Very much so. Very much so. Like there again, older, tall, money. He had money. He had a house. But he didn't want to wash his hands. Red flag. I'm going to make you wash your hands. That's gross. My whole entire life would have been altered because of one man's inability to regularly make sure he was okay. My whole life would have changed. So long story short, men are dirty and don't kiss them. Have men get tested before they even kiss you. Ugh.
Out there right now is a woman begging her husband, please just brush your teeth. Please brush your teeth. Please shower once a day. Please. And he's like, no, you fucking bitch, no. And I just thank the Lord every single day that's not my life. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Christ. Thank you.
What is up with you grown-ass men that do not take care of y'all health? You niggas walking around with stank-ass breath. Y'all ain't been to the dentist, got cavity, plaque, and everything else up in y'all mouth. Y'all got BV sitting in the back of y'all damn throat just passing that shit around. At this point in my life, if we're dating, bitch, we're going to get checked up actively. I'm not doing that shit. You niggas is passing around BV like crazy. And then want to get on here and talk, oh my God, y'all walking around smelling like fish. It's because of you niggas. Y'all health is terrible. Why is it that it takes a female to tell you, hey, your breath a little tart. I need you to go to the dentist and get that shit checked out. Or, I'm not feeling too good down there. I think we need to go get checked out. Why does it take that? Y'all niggas use y'all females as the doctor's office. That's not how it works. Oh my God, the amount of niggas' breath that I didn't smell that don't smell too good. Like if your breath smell and you like, hey, I'm finna go to the dentist. Okay, cool. I know everybody have issues, bitch. I have them too. But to just sit around and know that your breath is it stink and you ain't trying to go make no damn appointment, like how you fine as hell? Like how you a fine ass man in everybody's face and your breath smells terrible? Y'all niggas be having about 30,000 cavities inside of y'all mouth. Not only that, y'all got 30,000 females in the back of y'all damn throat. Like, oh my God, I am tired of it. I'm tired of it. Then y'all want to say, oh my God, why is all the females walking around smelling like fish? Why is all these niggas walking around with stank breath, STDs out the roof? Like, does anybody care about their health? Like, before we even have adult times, we gonna have to go to the same clinic and get checked up. We got to. Because y'all niggas out here faking and making them fraudulent as my charts. Baby, we going to the same place. We gonna call the same number so we can verify. And we gonna do a full panel. I'm done. I'm not playing. I'm done playing with myself like that. Like, every time you turn around, you just itching. Itching, walking around, smelling like fish. Because
tell me why some men think that water and soap are optional. I want us to get into it and let us see some of the things, the unhygienic things that men do that turn us off, we as women.
Gasping at some of these comments from a post that said, tell me the most unhygienic thing a man has done. I have two I would love to share. Two separate men. These are definitely top tier. First boyfriend I ever had. He was a junior, I was a freshman in high school. And when I went over to his house, he would only ever let me be on one side of the bed. Like if we watched TV or play games, like I could only be on the right side of the bed. Thought it was just like a quirk. Well, one day, like months into our relationship, he like went to the bathroom and I was like, what's on this left side of the bed? I pulled up the sheets. Rip. From the fucking headboard down to the footboard of the sheets was dried. You know what? So he must have just been sleeping on the right side into the left side. The second one It's a boyfriend I had when I was 19. Why is the guy you meet at 19 the worst? Did not know that he dipped. I guess he was ashamed, so because he hid it. And when I was actually, let me tell you 2 stories on this. Moving out of this house that we rented together because we broke up, I went to get my cleaning supplies out of his sink. We had separate bathrooms. His sink, never went in there. Open the door. Do you know those Essentia water bottles, like the big fucking 32-ounce ones? There was 12 of them in there, full of dip spit. So he had been reusing the bottles, putting his dip in 12 of them. 12. The second thing he did that's not necessarily unhygienic, but just, wow, this is in the same fucking day. Didn't know he did coke either. I went to grab my hamper out of our closet, dump it. And there was this Tupperware of what I thought was like feta cheese, because I don't do drugs. And I was like, why does this motherfucker, I was like, this nasty bitch has cheese in this hamper? And I opened it up and I was like, cocaine. So I dump it out all over the clothes and vacuum it up. And I leave the vacuum in there and left, and he never said anything about it. So I'd love to know things that men have done in your life that are unhygienic or just gross or
Doo-doo in his butt. Doo-doo is coming out of his butt, and you want me to believe that you couldn't smell that? I'm sorry, y'all get on here and y'all say a lot of stuff that's questionable and make me hard to believe what you be talking about. But you ain't gonna tell me that somebody pulled up to take you somewhere, and when they was getting to get out the car, you could see the crack of their butt, and you seen doo-doo coming out of it. And it was even doo-doo at the top of their butt. And you telling me that you couldn't smell it? You're in an enclosed space. You can smell when somebody's breath stank too bad in a car, right? And you telling me somebody got doo-doo in their butt and you couldn't smell that? And it's just the fact that you seen the doo-doo in said butt and you still went somewhere with them. It's like, at what point do y'all say, you know what, I'm good. Like, I don't know why you don't clean properly, but I know at this point right here that this could never go nowhere. We could never be nothing. Nothing could come from this at this point because I've seen too much. It's just no way that y'all be wanting companionship this bad, that you could see that and still proceed to go anywhere with this person. Like, I would have made up the quickest excuse ever to get up out of there. Right? Even if I wasn't in the mood to tell you what I seen, I'm going to get up out of there. You're never going to see me again, but I'm definitely not going nowhere with you. We're not going anywhere after I see that. It's nothing. But I refuse to believe that somebody could have that much poop in their butt and you couldn't smell it. All right? She even drew a picture of it, and it was a lot of doo-doo. It was a lot of doo-doo for you to not smell nothing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Ladies, let me tell y'all something. The first time y'all go to a dude house, check his bathroom. This is how you gonna know if he dirty or if he just lazy. Okay? First thing you check is the bathroom toilet. Now, if there's piss on the toilet seat, I'm talking about like when you lift the seat up and you see piss on the toilet bowl, he dirty. If it smell like piss, he dirty, period. The sink, if it has toothpaste residue all over the sink, the faucet, and the mirror, he dirty. If you go into his bathtub and you see build up mildew, he dirty. Just leave. You don't want to deal with that.
Nothing kills the mood faster than a bad breath. Like, just wash your mouth, brush your teeth, use a toothbrush and a toothpaste. Just brush your teeth. Take your time and make sure you brush your tongue. Like, it's just something easy. I don't know why you will be out here stinking into us, having a bad breath, and you expect me to kiss your mouth with that stinking smell? Hell no. I ain't doing that.
Lack of hygiene will tell you a lot about a man. If you start dating a guy and he's giving you that lack of hygiene vibe, this person likely has poor social awareness. He will be unorganized at home. He probably doesn't wash his sheets. He probably leaves dishes in the sink for a week. Probably hasn't washed his hair for a year. He probably never brushes his teeth. And he probably goes to work the same way. And his friends are probably the same because no one's brought him up on it. So if he's presenting himself to you like this, then he's living a life where it's okay for him to be that way.
I linked with this person and went in their room and they had their boxes with skid marks on the floor, a moldy sandwich, and crumbs all over their carpet. I had bang with them and left immediately. Good thing I didn't check their bathroom. Yet you still let them tap dance in between them cheeks. Doodoo all in his Bucci cat. And the meat was probably good, so you're going back for more.
So a few weeks ago, I had to end things with somebody that I was dating because he spent the night one night and then the next morning he used my bathroom, didn't flush the toilet, and left pee all over the seat, and then proceeded to lay in my bed and chill on his phone while I was in the kitchen cooking him breakfast. And then after he ate breakfast, he didn't even offer to help clean up and just left everything out on the counter. And until this happened, there really weren't any major red flags that I had noticed until I started reflecting on little things that were bothering me here and there of things that he was doing on our other dates. Because these weren't like outwardly huge red flags to the point where I was just gonna stop talking to him. But now that I have all of this information and I'm putting all the pieces together, I'm like, okay, that's why all of these things were bothering me. So on our 4th date, we went bowling and we had to wait for our lane to be ready, and there was a bar in that same place, so we just decided to go sit at the bar. And he was like, are you gonna drink tonight? And anyone that knows me knows that I don't drink, but every once in a while I'll have something. So I was just like, you know what, sure, tonight I'll have a drink. He then tells me that he forgot his wallet at home that has his license in it, and he's gonna show his license on his phone to the bartender if like she tries to card us. And I looked at him and I was like, that's not gonna work. They're gonna require a physical copy of your license for this to work. So of course the lady cards us. He tries showing his ID on his phone and she's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. We're gonna need your actual license. And he didn't outwardly say anything, but I could tell that he was like fuming on the inside, which again, I feel like anyone knows in 2025 that typically you can't get away with showing your ID on your phone. So neither of us get a drink and we go over because there's a pool section right there and we start playing pool. A few minutes into playing, he is like, hey, I have an idea. What if you go to the bar and you order your drink, wait a few minutes, and then go up and order my drink? And I was like, that's not gonna work because they're totally gonna catch on to the fact that I'm ordering a drink for both you and me. But I agreed to it anyway because I was like, whatever. He made a comment about how he typically would never make me pay for my own drink, but because he left his wallet at home, that's unfortunately what had to be done. Mind you, this man has Apple Pay, and I'm guessing he probably had Venmo too. This kind of rubbed me the wrong way though, because I feel like because he made that comment about never making me pay for my own drink, he should have taken out his phone then and there and been like, hey, what's your Venmo? I'll pay you for the drink right now. But he didn't do that. So whatever, I go and get my drink. It was only $11. And while I'm getting my drink, our lane is ready. So he leaves to go get that set up. When we get to the lane, he puts in the wrong name for me in our game. Instead of Alexa, he wrote Alexis. Mind you, he had never called me Alexis once up until that point. And I called him out and I was like, you know, that's not my name, right? And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Like he was acting so like embarrassed. But I was like, this is weird because you've never once called me the wrong name. Then we start playing, and as we're playing, servers will come up to us and ask us like, hey, do you guys want anything to eat or drink? So naturally, he finally gets to order his drink and they don't card him. And this made me furious because I was like, first of all, why were you not able to wait like 15 or 20 minutes while we were waiting for our lane to be ready to get your precious alcohol? But instead you had to create this elaborate plan for me to go up there and buy my own drink and then go up and buy yours too, when in the end they were just going to be serving us alcohol anyway and not even be carding us for it. Also, we're bowling. Why do you need to drink alcohol? Like, why is that so important to you on a bowling date? So I was just super frustrated at that point. And typically this is not something I would bring up, but because the situation is over and I'm just so disgusted by this man, the final thing that made my ick go over the edge was how bad this man was at bowling. I'm not good at bowling. Like, I'm lucky sometimes if I can even break 100. This man was getting gutter balls like every single shot. In fact, I have never seen such horrific bowling form in my life. He like took the ball and had his arm bent and he was throwing the ball with the same leg. And here I was afraid that I was going to give him the ick playing bowling. Again, I'm not here to shame anyone's lack of athletic abilities because like I'm not super athletic and I'm typically not the best at these sorts of things. But if you're so bad to the point where I'm like breaking 100 and you maybe have 50 points, if that, like, oh my God. And again, like I said, typically this isn't something that would be considered like a huge ick for me, but because he did so many other things up to that point that had already made me so annoyed and given me the ick, it was just like the final straw. But yeah, I still have more things that this man did that were very subtle over the dates that we went on. But now that I've pieced it all together,
Please, men, just wash your bodies. Like, some men really hate taking a shower. They fear water and soap. They feel like it's like someone putting a gun on their head. And the moment that you don't take a shower and you get intimate with your partner, you are gonna infect your partner with infections, and you're going to give your woman infections like yeast infections, UTIs, and she'll be back and forth from the hospital because she's itching, she's not comfortable. And I think that as ladies we should also respect ourselves, because if someone cannot just do a simple task like washing their bodies properly before getting intimate with you, just being clean, just know that that guy does not respect you, that guy does not love you, and he's a smelly man. You should not be with a smelly man, a man who's bringing you more problems rather than just being clean. It's really simple.
If he shows up to a special occasion with bad hygiene, just remember this is the respect he has for you. If he dresses like a dag and didn't bother to do his hair, this is the level he knows you will put up with. This is the respect that he has for you. And people will judge you by the
Religion has indoctrinated women. Religion has programmed women that getting a husband, being married, is the ultimate goal in life. And once we deconstruct from religion and make this patriarchy tumble for real, a lot of these smelly, unhygienic, dirty dudes are going to be festering in their own skid marks. Because some of these dudes are unattractive, unhygienic, and need to be alone because wash your butt. Anyways, I just did a video on this talking about how the patriarchy, no, I've heard this before. The patriarchy is DEI for men, because many of these mediocre men would not have a wife if it weren't for the programming of women, and actually the programming of little girls from a young age, that getting married and staying married is the end all be all, and doing the social shaming of divorced women and single moms. I just talked about the whole patriarchy thing yesterday, and then someone sends me this post. Crack my knuckles. Let's get into it. Trigger warning, there's some grossness, but walk away from these people. Let's read it. This young lady, because you see she's 24 and the smelly, unhygienic man is 26, she posted in the women's subreddit saying, "My husband's lack of hygiene is making me fall out of love with him." She says, "Okay, I need to know if I'm under or overreacting to all of this. My husband and I have been married for a little over a year." Already, she's underreacting. Okay, let's continue. The context below will be important as we continue. We both came from rather oppressive religious households, with mine being much more controlling and unsafe. He lived alone with his divorced father with a great deal more freedom than I. I lived with my parents and sister. I was essentially considered property by my father until married. My religious background pushed me into the marriage I am in today, albeit it was willingly at the time. I wonder how much of it was just me trying to check off the boxes that fit the religious young women's checklist of where she is supposed to go and be in life. All of this information is to explain why I got married so young and without having lived with the person I was marrying first. So, my husband and I started dating in 2021 and got married in 2024. All during that duration, we did not ever live or sleep together. We would go out on dates, he would come over to my parents' house, etc. I got to know that version of him. I truly didn't know how he lived at home. When I would go and visit his house with my sister or family, it was never messy per se or anything. Now, I live with him in our own home we own. Let me start off with, he is a loving, kind man. He does a good job of providing for me financially and materially. He has done so much work to renovate our home. He could be very thoughtful, doesn't forget anniversaries, tries to help me whenever and wherever he can, etc. He's all around a good man, and I love him dearly. Now comes the but. And I desperately need feedback to know if I am crazy for feeling crazy about this. His personal hygiene. I want to preface this with each and every one of these issues. I have had countless discussions with him about them, discussed different strategies he could use, offered solutions, rearrangement of lifestyle and habits, etc. He does not find a singular one of these to be a concern nor an aspect of his life worthy of changing. When I address these issues, he apologizes for offending me and that he's sorry that his habits disgust me, but does not grasp the core issue that it's not about me having some kind of hard-to-please hygiene standards. It's that these things are just gross. I work in childcare, and many of these unhygienic habits are things I teach literal 5-year-olds, and they know better than my adult husband. The point is, I have tried and tried and tried and tried tirelessly and endlessly to address these things with him. And I've fought for my life to communicate with him about it all. And he always gives a half-hearted sorry, or I don't know what you want from me. What more do you want from me? Or a weak excuse for why he does what he does, and sometimes agrees to solutions to resolve the issues, but is right back to the same habits the next day with little to no effort to curb them. Okay, so these are the things he does. I'm about to read these. So trigger warning. If you are drinking anything, please push it to the side. If you are eating anything, please stop eating it. Actually, just go on a fast for the rest of the day. He takes a shower every 6 to 10 days, claiming he doesn't sweat and doesn't smell. He does sometimes. Not all of the time, but enough. I just think it's gross to go so long without showering. He just admitted to me a few days ago that until recently, and he wouldn't specify how recently, he didn't know you were supposed to keep wiping until the toilet paper was white after you took a poop. I asked him what he'd done up until that point. He said, "Oh, I just wipe once and call it good." Now, there'd be many times where I catch a whiff of something, but he has acid reflux and stomach issues sometimes, so I assumed wrongly that it was gas. But no, my husband is strolling through life with a once wiped dookie butt. This has stained quite a few sets of sheets and almost all of his underwear. The biohazards that some of these wives are living through, and they're choosing this actively each day that they don't leave. But okay, let's continue. Snot. He picks his nose and flings and wipes and smears his snot on everything. I find it on walls, counters, tables, furniture, upholstery, the top of our bedroom sheets and blankets. I went to lay in my bed the other day and encountered sticky and undried snot on the edge of my blanket. As I went to pull it up to my chin, I almost vomited and had to spend 20 minutes scrubbing it off before throwing it in the wash. I cannot even count how many times I've washed things around my house after finding snot on them, to the point I was chipping the paint behind the toilet trying to scrub off dried snot because he'd sit there and pick his nose and fling it behind him on the wall. Divorce and send him to jail. He just go. His ears. He doesn't clean his ears ever, not with a Q-tip, wipe, whatever you could use. And so he has greasy yellow earwax permanently dripping and oozing out of his ears. Not to a medically concerning degree, like there's something wrong, just a normal amount of human earwax that's just endlessly built up. I refuse to let him use my earbuds when he's asked to borrow them because they'll come back covered in yellow wax. Oral hygiene. This is just to pause to say to schedule your dentist appointments for the year right now. I'm getting my teeth cleaned next week. Make sure that you go ahead and schedule those appointments. Okay, back to this gross post. The man will not brush his teeth. I don't know how he doesn't have a bazillion cavities. He brushes his teeth maybe once a week, and that's only if he eats something that gets stuck in his teeth and is bothering him. So the rest of the time, he has very bad breath as a result, as well as a constant buildup of white plaque on his teeth that is visible anytime he opens his mouth, smiles, etc. There have been times when he's kissed me and I bumped teeth and his dental plaque got scraped off by my own teeth and ended up in my mouth and I nearly vomited. Those are the big things. Some of the lesser things are when he blows his nose. He manages to consistently hold the tissue paper in such a way that it forms an upwards tilted chute, and he sprays mucus on everything like a freaking elephant. I've tried showing and modeling different ways to hold the tissue paper to avoid that happening, to no avail. Socks. He has a fairly physical job, so like any human, he gets sweaty, stinky feet inside his work boots. I can get sweaty feet myself after a long day, but as soon as I come home, I immediately remove my socks and wash my feet before either putting on socks or indoor shoes. He does not. He'll keep his work socks on until he goes to bed and just takes them off right before climbing in. It's stained my sheets near the bottom more than once because all the sweat, dead skin buildup, etc., all just smear onto the sheets. Her home, her bed is a biohazard. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I've tried communicating tirelessly about the problems with these habits and behaviors, only to have my words met with indifference and lack of concern. These things are affecting my mental health. I don't want to clean my house because no matter what I do, I end up grossed out no matter how much I clean. It's affected intimacy because I don't want to kiss him or have sex because of his bad breath, plaque buildup, poopy butt, sweaty body odor, and waxy ears. In every other regard, he is an awesome, amazing man who is so sweet and kind, but I am truly struggling to look past these issues. I feel if I had not grown up in a religious setting and perhaps grown up in one where living with a partner before marrying them was accepted, I would have discovered these hygiene issues sooner and either addressed and curbed them or chosen a different life path. But now I don't know what to do. I've tried to fix the man and fix the issues now that I know that they exist, because I don't want to throw the whole man away, but I am genuinely struggling day to day with all these. I genuinely want to hear all your thoughts, opinions, advice, criticism.
Men who leave the bathroom dirty, it's a no for me, a very big no. Because bro, if you use the toilet and you don't flush, that's a red flag for me, because that shows that you are not even responsible of your waste. Like, just having to flush the toilet is a big deal for you. I think for me it's a no, because I feel like you can't be able to be responsible. I don't think if you are going to be a good man to lead me in that relationship, I just can't tolerate you. And some things are just ignorance, because I don't get how you will, a simple task just like flushing the toilet I am even speechless. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it if you need psychological help. I don't know if your mental health is okay, but I think like you are trained as a kid. Your mother trained you to like potty training. Your mama trained you well. I don't know why you are being so ignorant and you expect a woman to live with you with that kind of unhygienic behaviors. Please, men, flush that toilet after you use it, period. To the men watching, this is not to shame you. This is just to call you out and man up for the unhygienic men. Like, you guys know that cleanliness is next to godliness. Why would you even complicate something very easy and start making it become something very complicated? Please be hygienic. Please be clean. From your body to everything in general, please be very hygienic. It's very unfair for your partner, and it's also unfair for your body, because it's not just fair for just being a dirty person. And if you're comfortable, I think you need help. And to my sisters, Please stop tolerating dirty love. I'm Caroline. See you in the next video. Bye.